that will be free from all kinds of crops and live independency. We try to work and learn from our history to end the fight begun by the great Republic, to live in a state of national unity. One people, one nation, one destiny and creed. Lead our people onto their destiny, to play vital roles in building this land to be a nation that will be great and for all to see. One people, one nation, one destiny and creed. I want to build this land that belongs to me.
The University of Guyana's Institute of Research, Innovation and Entrepreneurship, familiarly known as UGIRE, is a technology transfer entity that was conceptualized by our own Professor Patsy Francis, approved by UG statutory bodies in October 2019, and which formally commenced operations in August 2020 with funding from ExxonMobil Guyana. It was determined through several research and consultancies that many factors affect the university's collaboration with industry, including policies which guide such collaboration, funding, inadequate research and development facilities, as well as poor marketing of the faculty's expertise and products to industry. And the aim of UGIRE is to fill this gap by providing a platform for researchers and innovators within and connected to the university and allied institutions, as well as individual researchers, to share their new products and share their services with industry. The Student Entrepreneurship Enterprise is an arm of UGIRE, and it aims specifically to facilitate the commercialization of ideas emanating from our own young people. It is the work of this arm that this award ceremony highlights, and we commend and celebrate the ingenuity, the perseverance, and the innovations of our young entrepreneurs. Once again, I bid you a very pleasant welcome to this Business Development Encounter Award winning ceremony. At this time, I would like to introduce to you Ms. Yvonne Mattis. Ms. Mattis is an international business consultant and entrepreneurship development specialist, and she also served on this workshop, Business Encounter, as the lead program consultant. Ms. Mattis has a passion for working with diverse cultural groups in disruptive environments to deliver value. Her experience spans over 20 years and includes expertise in business development, agile project management, project design and implementation, social and economic research and training, and coaching and mentorship. At this time, I would like to introduce to you Ms. Yvonne Mattis to review the business encounter. Ms. Mattis?
All protocols observed. Good afternoon, everyone. It is indeed a feeling of triumph to be here this afternoon to share in this very important occasion, that of the Business Encounter. I must say that this came out of a simple meeting with one of my own sisters from the Caribbean, Professor Patsy Francis, where we met at a webinar. And for some reasons, we thought that this is something that we should take further. And out of discussions dating as far back as October last year, we were able to put our minds and our hearts together to develop this program. It gives me a feeling of triumph because as a region, we have almost come to a standstill while our politicians wonder who is going to take the lead in whatever issues. We have decided that our nations have skills and competencies, and we can collaborate and share ideas to strengthen this region. So this initiative is in one way showing that we can compete, but we can also cooperate and strengthen each other so that this region can be a force to reckon with. I can remember that in the 70s, Jamaica was one of the top manufacturing countries in the region, where countries like Singapore came and looked at us and modeled what we had. And today, Singapore is a top emerging economy. So what is this saying? We have bright minds here. And so all we need to do is to be willing to share. Because as David Ricardo said, not all of us will have the same comparative advantage. So we will have to assess what strengths we have. And if we are to do our individual SWOT analysis, we will come up with our own strengths, our own weaknesses, our own opportunities, and our own threats. And what is there for us not to gain if we combine our strengths and learn from each other and build this region brick by brick? And this is what this encounter is about. We were able to put a team of persons together, professionals, the Branson Center, coming from TIC. We had entrepreneurs who had scaled up, starting their own business right here in the University of Technology, having gotten support through IDB grants and their own family equity funding, were able to build very renowned businesses that is taking off and making their own mark in the international arena. Our people have shown that we are bright people. So what we need to do now is to combine all of these ideas that we have and to share. There's no harm in sharing. So in this experience, what happened is that we were able to draw from industry. We were able to get people who have operated successfully their own businesses to come in and share with the students some of their pitfalls, some of the lessons learned. And they also were able to guide the students as to some of the mechanisms that were available for them to use to strengthen their businesses as startups. And our students, as part of the University of Guyana, were able to immerse themselves in this new experience and to learn that there were so many opportunities for them that they could now take this and establish themselves as their own business owners and not having to come out and expect to get a job, as is typical of most graduates. So we have bright minds here in the region. And so this experience is saying to us that what we need is just to draw on all the resources that we have. And this is what we did in the 6 workshop series. We were able to share theoretical concepts and bringing them together in terms of exercises that the students were able to do in breakout rooms, take home exercises, build their own resources and their own business models, their own revenue models, learned about pricing, about financial statements, how to make up their own cash flow, learn how to establish their own business plan, and last but not least, develop a pitch that they could take to investors to say, yes, I have something that's convincing, and all I need for you to just hear me out. And here I'm saying to you, if you are to invest in my business, this business can actually make a profit, and I will be able to make a return on your investment. So our students have learned that they can go out there and compete with the rest of the world. All they need to now do is to network. So what we did, we had them working in groups and learned the importance of collaborating right here on the soil of Guyana. And so with the support from our team, our facilitators, we had ongoing support sessions with them, one-on-one sessions with them, teaching them how to do research, guiding them how to make their own financial statements, and helping them how to come up with their own revenue models, teaching them how to use the internet, to come up with their own marketing strategies, to take advantage of online services that were there, and to also establish their own business online. So the world has opened up for these students. They can now use this to build a network for themselves. And so I would say to you that this is just the beginning. Out of this experience, our students will get a chance to be a part of a virtual incubator where they will network online, and they will have the support of the administrative staff of the University of Guyana to guide them through the process. But lastly, they will have mentors. They will have people who are experienced to help them, guide them through the process, so that the chance of the success of their business will be far greater. So while we taught them and they learned, this is only the beginning. It is going to be lifelong learning for them. They will have to learn to decide when to move in one direction, when to pull back, when to take advantage of opportunities, because all these skills we have passed on to them. And so we are encouraging them to guide other young people who are coming up, say this country, Guyana, can be a wonderful place to live, to raise their own families, and to compete with the rest of the world. So we are here as a people in the Caribbean, one big melting pot. This is what this business encounter meant to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Mattis, for your inspiring remarks and your challenge for us in the region to meet the needs of our communities and our societies through innovation and entrepreneurship. I'd now like to invite Mr. Matthew Scharf to deliver the donor remarks. Mr. Matthew Scharf joined the ExxonMobil Guyana Public and Government Affairs team as a senior advisor in May 2019. Previously, he worked for ExxonMobil in Madagascar, the Ivory Coast, Liberia, and Houston. I'd now like to invite Mr. Matthew Scharf.
Thank you. I'm really delighted to be here today, to be online, I guess, on behalf of ExxonMobil Guyana and our Starbrook Block co-ventures, Hess and CNOOC. Thank you to Vice Chancellor Mohammed, Deputy Vice Chancellor Ifil, UGI Director, Professor Francis, Ms. Elliott Mattis, and the students and other distinguished guests here. ExxonMobil made its first donation to the University of Guyana in 2015, and it was a small donation. It was books that we thought would be useful for students at the university. And the next year, we donated money to rebuild the physics lab at the university after it had been destroyed. And since those early modest efforts, we've built a relationship year by year with the University of Guyana, including members of the administration, the faculty, and the student body. And within ExxonMobil, I can tell you, we are committed to growing this relationship and supporting the university's ambitions. I work regularly with our country manager, with members of the geoscience, the engineering, and environmental and regulatory teams to make sure that we understand the university's ambitions and that our support plays a constructive role Earlier this year, ExxonMobil, Hess, and CNOOC announced the Greater Guyana Initiative, which is a $20 billion commitment over 10 years to grow capacity and to support sustainable and diversified economic growth that touches every region of the country. And the funding for the Professors of Practice program at the University of Guyana is one result of that commitment. And it's gratifying to be here today to celebrate the work this semester by the first Professor of Practice, at least funded through the Greater Guyana Initiative, the Director of UGIRE, Professor Francis, as well as her colleagues and the students here today. So in the first 2 years, or I should say in the 2 years, hopefully there's 2 more years that I've lived here in Guyana with my family, I know we've seen firsthand what entrepreneurs can accomplish and the positive effects that their efforts have on themselves, their families, our family, and communities here in Guyana. So I'd like to congratulate and encourage all the workshop participants on behalf of ExxonMobil, Hess, and CNOOC, and reaffirm our commitment to actively supporting the university's unique and crucial role in Guyana. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Scharf. We certainly appreciate the support that ExxonMobil has been giving to UGIRE and to the university as a whole. At this time, I would like to invite us all to view 3 award-winning displays from Ms. Fenella Martin, Mr. Jethro Adams, and Ms. Farzana Bash.
My name is Fenella Martin. I am a first-year student pursuing my degree in management through the School of Entrepreneurship and Business Innovation, otherwise known as SEBI. This evening, it is my pleasure to share with you some of my key takeaways from participating in the Business Development Workshop. Upon receiving my invitation, I was excited. Finally, I thought, somewhere I can go to receive knowledge that can help kickstart my career as an entrepreneur. My excitement grew after attending my first session. I was excited to learn that the University of Guyana is offering such a program that encourages entrepreneurship and provides step-by-step knowledge and insights. I learned how to create a business model, how to create a website, how to operate QuickBooks, and how to create a business plan. Clearly, my expectations have been met. We all have great ideas, but we leave them hidden within. The business plan enables you to test those ideas and determine if they are indeed lucrative problem-solving solutions. My key takeaways are, but not limited to, constructing a mission statement. How do I define my goals and objectives? Conducting market research. Where can I get my information? The financial aspects. How can I track my money? And finally, my SWOT analysis. How to conduct internal and external analysis. A good mission statement is not just for show, but it serves as a guide, a reminder of why we choose to do what we are doing and for whom. Here's a sample of a mission statement I wrote. To create opportunities for artisans to connect with customers in a safe and dynamic culture that promotes equity, integrity, and quality products and services to meet the needs of our customers while generating income and opportunities for our partners and employees. Okay, it may need a little bit more work, but that's okay. Mission statements are not set in stone. Here's a sample of my vision statement. To leave the world better than we inherited it by fanning the flames of entrepreneurship and industry to higher standards and higher ethics. Indeed, I am looking to the future. Conducting market research is crucial. This is where the real decisions are identified. But finding the information to help make better informed decisions can be a challenge, especially here in Guyana. But I'm no longer worried because now I know where I can go to get my information. For primary sources of information, I can visit Google Docs and create my own online survey. For secondary sources of information, I can visit Statista.com or Google Trends. And I also learned how to use that information. Here's an example of a digital marketing ad we created during one of our group assignments. a startup, financials must be accounted for. In addition to writing down your ideas, it is also critically important to write down the numbers. It helps you to determine how much money you need, what price point you can afford to enter at, can you sustain down periods, and for how long, just to name a few. You don't want your expenses to exceed your income, as shown in my QuickBooks analysis, which, by the way, I also learned to do from the workshop. Finally, my SWOT analysis, conducting internal and external analysis. I learned to ask important questions like, what are my strengths and how can they be built upon? What are my weaknesses? How can they be reversed? Where are the opportunities? How can they be maximized? Where are the threats? How can they be overcome? Now I'm better equipped to assess each business idea that I have and determine whether they are just ideas or maybe another Facebook, Amazon, or even Tesla in the making. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, with all protocols observed, welcome. Who is Jethro Adams? Jethro Adams is a final year engineering student whose aspiration is to one day own his own business, all while doing the things he loves. The reason why I joined UGIRE is firstly because of the knowledge, right? I wanted the necessary knowledge that I would need for a startup and the qualified facilitators that was offering the program. Reasons why I choose to become an entrepreneur is because I want to establish my own business. I want the security that would bring, as well as the independence having your own business brings as well. During the workshop, each participant was given the opportunity to experience WordPress firsthand. With a vast amount of themes and templates to choose from, the facilitators was able to help us navigate through the program to select, create, and build a website to best display our designated business venture. The reason why I've chosen to use WordPress, outside the fact that it was taught to us, because of these two reasons. First, it was easy to use and it's practically free. This is how I went about using or creating my website. First, I would have logged in to create a profile on WordPress. Next, I would have created a domain. I would have selected a name and created a domain. After that, you would have been given opportunities to select a template. I've chosen this template because it suited my business. From the selection of the template, you can edit it to your liking, and this is the result from my choice. The name of my company is Future Engineering. My tagline is modern technology for engineering use. As you scroll through, you're going to see some pictures depicting the different services of engineering that we're offering. As we go down, these are the various social media platforms that I've also launched my website on as well. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Farzana Baksh and I'm a student from the College of Medical Sciences, School of Pharmacy. I am proud to be representing the first batch of students from the UGIRIE Business Development Workshop. There are many skills that I learned within these sessions, and today I will proudly be presenting one of them to you. I will be presenting to you marketing, specifically business promotion. Okay, firstly, why business promotion? Business promotion is basically a promotional tool that is much needed by all businesses as it is commonly seen. It enables businesses to reach out to customers in the most efficient way. The major components and the types of business promotion. So, as it can be seen in the picture, there are several components from the marketing mix. It is important to know that people are the center. And specifically speaking to promotion, there are many types, such as personal selling, sales promotion, advertising, direct marketing, publicity, and public relations. Examples. There are many ways in which businesses can be promoted. Here are some common examples. Referral discounts, giveaways, branded gifts, free samples, and the very famous buy one, get one free. During this workshop, I developed my business, which is NutriCare. Simply saying, we will provide care through your nutrients. As it can be seen on the logo, our tagline is, your well-being, our priority. And here's a video showing my business promotion after I applied some of the skills that I learned within this workshop. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It has been indeed exciting to hear of the knowledge gained, as well as to see the enthusiasm and the confidence of our youths. Ms. Martin, Mr. Adams, and Ms. Bash, I really anticipate and expect great products and services from you all. At this time, it is now my distinct pleasure to introduce Professor Paloma Mohammed Martin. Professor Mohammed Martin is the 11th Vice Chancellor of the University of Guyana. She's the most youthful and the first woman to ever hold the post in the university's 58-year history. She's a highly decorated scholar and artist. She's a sought-after strategist and change specialist, having done her PhD specialization in those areas. Professor Paloma Mohammed Martin is also a highly successful fundraiser and an academic, having widely published on various areas relating to the arts and social and behavioral sciences. I can say so much more about Professor Paloma Mohammed Martin, but I would like to introduce her to you at this time to give her remarks. Professor?
Madam Chair, good afternoon, everyone. Deputy Vice Chancellor Melissa Eiffel, herself a highly decorated and well-respected scholar. Professor Pat Francis, Director of the University of Guyana's Institute for Research, Innovation and Entrepreneurship, which we so fondly call UGIRE because happy and good things happen there, so they just IRE. Dr. Matt Scarf, a representative for the partners which fund the Greater Guyana Initiative from ExxonMobil, Hess, and CNOC. Registrar, deans, heads, members of the university's higher administration, members of the government, Parliament of Guyana who may have made it this afternoon. I can't see everyone, so forgive me if I don't call people by their names. Staff, students, family and friends of the students and members of the workshop, members of the media, welcome. I also wish to acknowledge the diligence and dedication of Dr. Tiffany Arter, Technical Officer in UGIRE, and the wonderful workshop facilitators, Ms. Yvonne Mattis, Mr. Soren Griffith, Mr. Shani Morrison, and Mr. Shamir Sadler. I wish also to acknowledge those in the Department for Events, Conferences, and Communications of the University of Guyana and the Tactical Online Services Unit, as well as those in PACE. PACE is the office which created and manages the grant under the Greater Guyana Initiative, which funds a portion of Professor Francis's work. I'm always doubly delighted to attend graduations and celebrations of young people and those who take pride and passion in nurturing them to their full potential. In this regard, therefore, let me say a resounding thank you to Dr. Terry Campbell, and all those others who have supported Professor Francis in her work by sponsoring, coming to give talks, and all of these wonderful things that the workshop participants have indicated that they have been able to receive. Thank you all so much. The UGIRE was developed by Professor Francis to do exactly what it is doing here today. It was a dream of hers that she held very dearly for over 25 years. And we're happy as a university to see her realize this in this first workshop, just months after the Institute was launched. I really think it's a good first anniversary project, and we should give them a round of applause. Special congratulations to the winners of the top 5 prizes. But I really want to say that all of the 25 of you who were chosen to be part of this workshop are really winners, since I understand you were chosen from among 110 others. So congrats to you all. I'm sure you all would have been taking away many wonderful experiences. You've gotten to know each other, you have a network of support, and you have a wealth of knowledge that you may not realize right now, but in years to come, you may remember something and be able to apply it to some important decision that you have to make in life. That's how knowledge works. It recreates itself on application year after year, time after time. It's a gift that keeps on giving. And many times we don't even recognize where those ideas, inspirations, guidances, insights came from. I would also like to add my own special thanks to those persons from the GGI and from ExxonMobil's office in Guyana, which manages that, Mr. Alistair Routledge, CEO of ExxonMobil, and the president of CNOOC, Mr. Lou Zaizong. I don't know if I've pronounced this correctly, and if I haven't, please forgive me, but you know that I mean the president of CNOOC, Petroleum Guyana Limited, and the president of HES, Mr. Greg Hill. Also to Matt, who's here with us this afternoon, who's worked really closely with my office on this and several other of the GGI and other projects that you would have heard about. And then there are several other smaller ones that we have not spoken about, as well as Mr. Marcus Tripp, Ms. Kimberly Brazenton, with whom a lot of this began many, many years ago in 2015, 2016, Susie Diabro and Nick Haywood, as well as Janelle and others in Exxon. I won't go on much more, because this is your evening and I'm really dying to see what else you have actually produced and what else has come out of this workshop. But it would be remiss of me not to respond in terms of situating and locating this event this afternoon in a broader, long-term regional and national strategic framework. If we look at the data coming out of Guyana and the Caribbean, we will see variously, depending on who's reporting, high unemployment rates for Guyana and the Caribbean, especially among women and girls. And so I'm very delighted that several of the winners this afternoon are in fact young women. Hats off to you. Thank you for stepping up and not being afraid to pursue your dreams and to push your ideas and your projects forward. In the world that we have now got to live in, and the world that we are modeling and predicting that we will have to live in the next decade or so, the persons who are going to survive and thrive will be those whose minds are able to innovate and apply, and who are able to create out of nothing something that is worthwhile and useful. And so for the University of Guyana, when we started to work on our Blueprint 2040, and it's 2040 because UG will be 75 years old in 2040 and no other reason. And we thought we couldn't see further down the line, much further than 20 years. So we wanted to kind of make our vision kind of point to a point in the future where we thought we could plausibly plot and plan based on what we know is happening now. We created 4 aspirational goals, and I will not speak to you about all 4 of them, but I want to speak to 2, because the context of this workshop and the output from it and what I know is going to come in the future, because it doesn't end here. Professor Francis and her team are working on follow-ons for not only for you, but with others. But the two aspirational goals I'd like to address this afternoon are the idea that the University of Guyana will respond to the special problems of Guyana and the region and probably the planet by the choices we make now and the plans we put in place now. And we isolated 8 areas that we would want to focus on. This is not to mean that we will only work in these 8 areas, but we will focus on these areas because we understand them to be critically important. And one of those areas is innovation and entrepreneurship. And so this is the reason why I thought I should mention this today, because this is a small step, but very important step in the journey towards UG realizing these goals of its blueprint on aspirational goal 2. The other aspirational goal for us is goal 4, which speaks to UG being a model for the nation. And when we think about why UG has to be a model for the nation, one of the very important things that we have to consider for a state and national university is the fact that many of those who grace our walls, our halls as students are first-time students of a university. They have not come from a background where a lot or anyone from their families would have entered a university before. And so for us, it becomes more than just technical competence for our graduates. It becomes a matter of modeling for them what success looks like, what good behavior looks like, what good values look like, what certain types of things like simple things like etiquette in class, online etiquette, and all those kinds of things, and what really and truly a good Guyanese citizen and a citizen of the world should be. And if we cannot model that ourselves, we know that, you know, more than 60% of learning happens through observation, not by what you tell people, but what they see you do yourself. This becomes really important. So a group like this with such wonderful mentors, facilitators that have stepped in and helped to lift the consciousness and the projects of these young people up, you are really, really helping us to fulfill this. And finally, for us, all of us at UG, are completely and totally focused on a thing we call citizen success. Most universities will talk to you about student success. And when we thought it through, we thought to ourselves, well, we really are not creating students, because when they graduate, they are becoming citizens. And so what we want are good, successful citizens. And so we care about what happens to you, not only when you're with us as students, but when you leave. We want everyone to be successful. And so this kind of workshop, this work that is being done here is invaluable. I thank you all for giving me the opportunity to speak. I want to bid you all a remembrance of those who are passing away due to COVID and those who are fighting the floods, and to remind you all to please take the necessary precautions. If you can, take what is being offered to you to help you to be well and to fight off this dreaded infectious disease. But most of all, do your distancing, do your sanitization, deal with your immune systems, please, wear your masks, and ensure that you are completely and totally paying attention to what's going on around you, who's around you, and what they're doing at all times. God bless you, and thank you all for listening to me.
Thank you so much, VC. As usual, you have been gracious and inspiring, and I thank you for supporting the vision of Professor Pat Francis and UGIRE, and indeed for working so diligently to secure funding for innovation and research at the University of Guyana. I would now like to invite us all to watch the final 2 award-winning displays from Ms. Odella Joseph and Mr. Rayburn Anthony Jones.
I am Ms. Odella Joseph, founder and CEO of one of Guyana's leading skincare brand, OJ's Natural Skincare. OJ's, I am an alumnus of the University of Guyana with a bachelor's degree class of 2017, and I'm also a certified safety professional, amongst other small skills. OJ's Natural Skincare started at a time where I had lost my job and recently found out that I was pregnant, and I didn't get the glow that most pregnant women come with. I had blemishes, scars, you name it, on the bad side of pregnancy, I had it. I began doing research in local businesses to basically assist with my skincare problems. And what I realized is that majority of the businesses, little as they were, didn't have the products that I needed to solve my problem. So I started to think about basically doing it myself. And when I did it, I found that it worked for me. And I shared it with my close friends and family, hereinafter referred to as my guinea pigs. So I made the products and I'm sorry. Let me just share my screen with you guys. I began researching on what I would need to get this done. And I did trial and errors, and I bought certain books that I needed, as well as I did some online courses, because what I realized is that if I'm going to be making stuff for people, it was imperative for me to have specialized knowledge in every aspect of the business and understand the benefit and correct usage of each ingredient that I put into the product. Skincare was relatively new in Guyana, and I learned that majority, if not all the materials that I would need, I had to import, which was rather costly in the beginning, but it was necessary, because if you're going to go with local, then you're limited to certain things. And I feel like my product would not have been as effective as they are if I had gone local. So I basically went out into the world by myself and found a way to make my products and my business work. Like I said, I had already lost my job, but I had personal savings, and I basically created a business plan and came up with everything that I needed, including the amount of money I would need to start up the business. I invested basically all my money that I had, and if I do say so myself, it was all worth the journey. These are some of the samples that I would have created initially that I would have shared with my friends. This turmeric scrub that I have here, I tried it on my sister once, and she was yellow for 4 days, I believe. It was disastrous at first, but like I said, it was worthwhile. When my guinea pigs started coming back and sharing their feedback with the new products that work, it was the first sign for me that the business can go on to outsiders. So I did some market research, and it helped me understand my target audience and their needs and preferences. Because when I initially entered the market, when I shared reviews from my guinea pigs, people would come to me and they would ask, do you have anything that can help me with this problem? Do you have anything? And I basically made note of all of these concerns that people were having, common as they were. A lot of people had these issues with acne scars, stretch marks, pigmentation. So it basically helped me to create products that would solve these issues that people were having. After that, I felt confident enough to launch my product in the market. First, we were online and we registered as a limited liability company. And that was mostly because of the business that we're in. we create natural skincare products for persons. And although I use organic ingredients, some people are still allergic to some of the stuff. So it was basically a method to safeguard myself in the unlikely event that action was taken against the business, because as a small business, you need to safeguard yourself. Branding and advertising. For branding purposes, we purchase some of our packages and containers locally, what we can find. Otherwise, we source them from abroad. I personally designed all my labels, cards, stickers using Canva, and I use local businesses to print them. Advertising is done exclusively on Instagram and Facebook, with the exception of some features that we would have had in the Guyana Times and a local magazine. We contacted social media influencers with large followings, and they would basically review our products and give feedback on their platforms, and their followers would basically come and check out our products and try it. We also created a WordPress website, which is all thanks to the University of Guyana during this course that the students would have been pursuing. And the website, I still have it free for now. And it has been driving a lot of traffic, because what we would have done is attach the link to the website to our social media platforms. And people would click on the link, and we have a button for them to order. And when they order, it sends straight to my email. So everything there is basically free. We also have customers coming and giving us their review when they like the product, or even telling us what we can do to improve the product or improve the service. And that all contributed to how we grow and how we basically change the way we do business. When we initially started our business, we had no physical location. Everything was done online. Customers would come and order from our platform, and they would basically have to wait 2 days a week when we deliver the products and send it out to them 2 days a week, which was rather inconveniencing sometimes, because they would come later when they don't have the product, and they would cancel sometimes, which was sad sometimes. We now have 5 locations, and we are super grateful for that. We have 3 locations in Georgetown, 1 in Linden and 1 in Berbice. We are working towards acquiring other similar opportunities in different administrative regions, for our products to be more available countrywide. Launching the business and making sales was only the beginning of our task. As we entered the world of business, in order to make a profit and to stay afloat, we had to be continuously growing, continuously doing more market research, improving the quality and look of our products to meet customers' needs. It was an ongoing effort, and it has made us a lot stronger in dealing with customers and growing as a business. We also wish to, in the future, to collaborate with more established brands and businesses, partnering with charitable organizations, and eventually volunteering some of our profits to the less fortunate, and finding other ways to give back to the community as a means of growing our brand. OJ's has a total of 6 categories of handmade skincare products, all created by me from my home. I use organic oils, butters, clays, all sourced locally and abroad, as I would have mentioned. And we have seen a lot of success in treating the common skin conditions that we would have initially started, or that was initially our goal. Our goal is and always has been to restore customers' confidence in themselves by continuously providing them with quality natural products that play a key role in restoring the health and beauty of their skin. I can proudly say that so far in our journey, we We have been seeing great success, and we hope that in the future we can help to basically cure more Guyanese before we venture out into the larger world. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Jones, I now invite you to make your presentation.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and good afternoon, everyone. All protocols observed. My name is Rayburn Jones. I'm a former student of the Guyana School of Agriculture and the Faculty of Agriculture and Forestry. This afternoon, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the Mocha-Arcadia Multipurpose Co-op. We were formed in 2018 with the aim of promoting agriculture and sustaining our village economy. So far, our membership is just about 60 persons, and that would include both crops and livestock farmers, as well as persons involved in agro-processing and craft production. Our main objective is to promote and elevate our village economy through agriculture. We would have achieved that objective by linking with various training organizations and arranging training for our members. We would have linked with organizations such as ECO, FAO, NARI, GLDA, the Ministry of Agriculture, ASDU, among others. One of our main backers so far in terms of our sponsorship for various training programs would be IPADG. Now, if you take a look at this, like you can see the number of produce that would come out of our co-op. And this, what you're seeing here, this was came about as a direct result of being exposed to the training that was offered during this program. Now, this is my personal business, the Village Center, and it was created just over a year ago with the main aim of reselling chicken that's produced on the farm. It started out actually as a normal all-in, all-out of broiler operation. But as time went by, we realized that value added was needed. So we decided to do some investigation, and we were advised that, okay, you can try this. So we took the initiative, got for the training, and we developed our chicken arm. Now this product, it comes ready-made. You can either utilize it as is, or you can add it to your stews, your cook-up, your chow mein, whatever you feel comfortable with. You can go ahead and utilize same. From the training program, not just myself, but this information would have been passed on to other members within our organization. We're now using QuickBooks, Excel, right? And one of the biggest takeaway is the product marketing and branding. We would have already developed our online platform, and that's a very big sell for us. We are constantly between our market days, which most persons by now may know about, Within that time, persons can place the orders online, and you can have your stuff delivered to you. That the online platform, it is constantly manned, so you can always free to visit our Facebook page, and that would lead you to our online shopping list. You can go through, you get your pricing there, and you can you place your orders, and it would be delivered to you. Some of our future plans would be the creation of further linkages, and we definitely, coming out of the current flood situation, there is a need to relook the way that we're farming. So we're going to start looking at ways to develop shade house and rice beds, so that we would not be affected the way that we're currently being affected by the flood situation. In closing, I would like to thank Professor Francis and our team for believing in us, believing in me, and giving us a chance to be a part of this program. We are already seeing the fruits, and I'm already seeing the fruits of what the program had to offer. From taking things simple, putting your vision down on paper, preparing a business plan, right? Persons who would have visited our market day, and you saw the nice produce, they are nicely labeled. It was all coming out from this workshop. So in closing, I would like to thank the team for offering this course, and I may add free of cost. Please keep up the good work, and let's extend it into the future. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Jones. We were both, we were all, I'm sure, inspired by the two latter award-winning display presentations. At this time, the next item on our program would be a verbal display by our student entrepreneurs and workshop participants on entrepreneurial attributes.
Persistent,
Adaptable,
diligent,
proactive,
innovative,
competitive,
resourceful,
insightful,
dedicated,
flexible,
confident,
humble,
passionate,
collaborative,
focused,
no 9-to-5 worker,
purpose-driven,
creative,
resilient,
committed,
visionary,
risk-taker,
skilled.
disciplined.
Be your own boss.
Excellent. I think those are excellent virtues that our student entrepreneurs have recognized they are necessary to building successful and responsive to the community businesses. At this time, we are at the stage of our program where we award the certificates to our youth entrepreneurs. As Professor Francis recognized, as Professor Mohammed recognized, there were quite a number of students who applied for this program, and each of the students who was successful in gaining a place, each one is a winner, and each one will be awarded a certificate for completing the program. Dr. Paulette Henry, who is currently the Dean Designate of the Faculty of Social Sciences at the University of Guyana, will be distributing the certificates to our graduates. Dr. Henry has a PhD in higher education leadership, and she has held several administrative posts within the University of Guyana and would have contributed to the establishment of the Institute for Gender Studies and the Center of Excellence for Teaching and Learning. She has also led the development of national professional standards for social work practice in Guyana. At this time, I'd like to invite Dr. Henry to distribute the certificates to our graduates.
Good evening. All protocols having been observed, Vice Chancellor Mohammed, Director Professor Pat Francis, I'm delighted to have been asked to present awards at this ceremony to our students from a cross-section of our faculties, schools, and college. Farzana Bash, College of Medical Sciences, School of Pharmacy. Keela Campbell, Faculty of Natural Sciences. Ronaldo Ventura, Faculty of Engineering and Technology. Riedla Husbands, Faculty of Social Sciences. Abidiah Bowman, Faculty of Social Sciences. Alia Carvan, Faculty of Social Sciences. Mendy Nicholson, Faculty of Social Sciences. Onicha Burgess, Faculty of Social Sciences. Danita Huntley, Faculty of Social Sciences. Hannah Hicks, Faculty of Social Sciences. Tonya Wilson Reed, Faculty of Social Sciences. Latoya Walks, Faculty of Social Sciences. Jethro Adams, School of Entrepreneurship and Business Innovation. Ashley Marks, School of Entrepreneurship and Business Innovation. Michael Lewis, School of Entrepreneurship and Business Innovation. Kayla St. Louis, School of Entrepreneurship and Business Innovation. David Ford, School of Entrepreneurship and Business Innovation. Shanika Ambrose, School of Entrepreneurship and Business Innovation. Nawaz Hanif, School of Entrepreneurship and Business Innovation. Natoya George, Faculty of Education and Humanities. Ariana Madre, Faculty of Social Sciences. Darian Yaw, Faculty of Natural Sciences. Fenella Martin Lee, School of Entrepreneurship and Business Innovation. Congratulations to all those who are recipients of awards. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Paulette Henry. At this time, I'd like to invite a great friend and supporter of the University of Guyana to present prizes to our most outstanding student entrepreneurs. Dr. Terence Campbell is a consummate professional and an astute and established entrepreneur. A newly minted PhD holder, obtaining his PhD in Business Administration from Edinburgh Napier University in the UK. He's currently the Executive Director of Chemex Restaurants, Inc. and founder and CEO of Chemex Group. Chemex Group includes Chemex Limited, FedEx Guyana, Chemex Suriname NV, FedEx Suriname, Consolidated Cargo and Aviation Services, Inc., Cargo Handling Agent for Caribbean Airlines and SLM, and Chemex Restaurants, Inc., franchisee for Church's Chicken, Mario's Pizza, Quiznos, Hoyo Tropical, and Dairy Queen. Dr. Campbell.
Vice Chancellor, Professor Paloma Mohammed, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Dr. Melissa Eiffel, Director of UG-IRI, Professor Patsy Francis, distinguished guests, students, and all other invitees. I'd like to thank the University of Guyana and UG-IRI in particular for the invitation to join this celebration of the 23 graduates, the honor and privilege of being tasked with the distribution of prizes, and to say a few, emphasis on few words. Last and certainly not least, I wish to express my gratitude to the Professor Francis and the technical officer, Dr. Tiffany Arthur, for the opportunity to present to and learn from the participants during the program. With the emergence, some might say explosion, of our oil sector, our policymakers face the challenge of ensuring that our economy does not become oil dependent. The University of Guyana has a pivotal role to play in dealing with this challenge. Consequently, this effort by UG-IRE to share and transfer business skills with young entrepreneurs from very different backgrounds is both critical and timely. I was particularly impressed that the participants came from different schools, faculties, and even amongst the alumni of the university. Even more impressive is that 16 of the 23 graduates are female. Unleashing the power and potential of our women will supercharge our development process in Guyana. With this program, we are seeing UG once again playing an outsized and largely unappreciated role in our nation's development. Over a number of weeks, you covered a number of topics ranging from organization of business in Guyana to product development, pricing, market penetration, and international business. Your presentations today were impressive and confirmed that the techniques and knowledge were indeed transferred. Hopefully, you will use this knowledge to move your ideas, proposals, and businesses along the path of growth and success. A number of organizations and individuals have provided prizes which will be given to 8 of our graduates. The sponsors of these prizes are in no particular order: the University of Guyana, Professor Herman Reed, Camex Limited, and the Greater Guyana Initiative, which is composed of ExxonMobil, Hess, and the China National Oil Operating Company. Before I announce the winners of the 8 prizes, I want to share the story of Fred Smith. In 1965, Fred, whilst at Yale University, wrote a term paper which suggested that a company focused on moving small packages by air would be feasible and improve the movement of goods in the United States. Fred's paper was given a C grade. Undaunted, Fred launched the company in 1971. That company now has over 600,000 employees, operates in 220 countries, and is the largest airline in the world by freight and the 10th largest by fleet size. That company you now know as FedEx. What does this story mean for you? Whether you won a prize or not today, pursue your vision and don't give up. To quote Buju, entrepreneurship is not an easy road. There is glamour and glitter, but it's not a bed of roses. Be open to advice, words of wisdom, and develop the discernment, and this is important, to ignore the naysayers, as there will be many. Guyana is depending on you. The sponsors: University of Guyana, the Greater Guyana Initiative, Professor Herman Reed, and Camex Limited. The first prize, which is a laptop computer, goes to Farzana Baksh, who is from the College of Medical Sciences, the School of Pharmacy. Congratulations to you, Farzana. The second prize, again of a laptop computer, goes to Michael Lewis, who is from the School of Entrepreneurship and Business Innovation. Congrats to you, Michael. Nawaz Hanif collects the third prize of a laptop computer, and Nawaz is again from the School of Entrepreneurship and Business Innovation. Well done, Nawaz. School of Entrepreneurship and Business Innovation again. This fourth prize of a laptop computer goes to Fenella Martin Lee. Well done, Fenella. An alumnus of the Faculty of Forestry and Agriculture, Rayburn Jones, picks up the 5th laptop computer. Well done, Rayburn. I wish you much success in the future. The prize of a tablet goes to Ronaldo Venture from the Faculty of Engineering and Technology. Well done, Ronaldo. Another tablet goes to Ashley Marks from the School of Entrepreneurship and Business Innovation. Congratulations, Ashley. And the last tablet goes to David Ford of the School of Entrepreneurship and Business Innovation. Well done, David. Once again, I'd like to congratulate all the prize winners and indeed all those who received certificates today. I wish you well, and I look forward to seeing every single business idea of yours, or those of you who have already implemented your businesses and they're developing and growing. I wish you all great success. As I said, Guyana depends on you. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Campbell. We are so appreciative of all the support that you have consistently given to the University of Guyana and that you have given to Dr. Francis and UGIRE at this particular time. We're at the, and congratulations, apologies to all our students, those who received certificates, and those who received prizes and awards. And I really urge you to recall the account given by Dr. Campbell about the founder of FedEx. It's not where you start, it's where you eventually end up. At this time, I would like to invite Professor Patsy Francis, Director of UGIRE, to give some brief remarks on leveraging your university experience and launch of the virtual incubator live. Dr. Francis is, of course, no stranger to any one of us in the room, a great friend and colleague of mine. She's the director of UGIRE. As we noted, it is her vision that led to the establishment of this institute. And she's also the former dean of the Faculty of Agriculture and Forestry. She has 40 years of professional experience in the agricultural and education sectors. And she is deeply interested, and I can tell you because we've had multiple conversations on this, deeply interested in innovation, in business development, and deeply, deeply interested in empowering young people, particularly in the development of agricultural businesses. It gives me great pleasure to invite Professor Patsy Francis to speak with us this evening.
All protocol observed. I'm really quite happy this evening to mark this milestone. It has been a long time, as Professor Mohammed alluded to the amount of time from the time we started. I started thinking about this to this time. As a matter of fact, one of my mentors, Professor Drone at the University of Tennessee, said to me today, it's been a long time. You've been at this for a very long time. And I'm glad that I have had the opportunity to do the things that I really believe in, because not many people get that opportunity, you know. So I'm really very pleased. I know that we have the talent, and I know that we can make our mark. The interesting part of the whole thing to me, though, is that when I was a youngster of about less than 20 years old, I took for granted that all of the things that were in the society, all of the manufacturing and all of the entrepreneurial activities that were around me, that these things were just normal. I didn't realize how much effort it took to get those things in place. from the simple matches that was called Lighthouse. I don't know if anyone here could remember that. And we had orange juice in cans, milk of all kinds in boxes, all kinds of ham and bacon. As a matter of fact, I decided that I wasn't going to eat streaky bacon. I only wanted the bacon with the full works, the most meat. And all of the punts that I saw coming out of the Demerara foundry, and even down to the pressing comb that I used to lighten my hair, all of those things, plus the tapir, the MV Independence, the making of cloth, the stoves that we made, the refrigerator that my mother bought for her business. I just took all of that for granted. I never thought that when I grew up, that I would have to struggle to tell people that, look, we need manufacturing. We need more entrepreneurial enterprise, more than buying and selling things that we don't produce. We really need to get back to that. And I'm really quite happy that the students in the University of Guyana have come up with all sorts of ideas which are really very good. And I know that as we expose them to other countries and other facilities, that it would stimulate their ideas to bridge the gaps that now exist and perhaps help us to get to the place where we regain our respect, because that is a thing that bothers me more than everything else, disrespect, you know, and especially if I know I'm in the wrong. So here we are with the next steps for the student entrepreneurial enterprise. This UGIRIE has several parts of it. And one part of it deals with staff. And this is to provide gap funding that staff members will become more innovative. And the other part is for the students, that their innovations and their entrepreneurial thrust can be realized, because we have so many of them passing through here all the time. So we're going, all of the students who have graduated now and others who will come after then, after these students, will be inducted into the student entrepreneurial enterprise. They will be able to interact with each other and the successful entrepreneurs like Dr. Campbell and other. They love Dr. Campbell, trust me. He really got them going. They just, he spoke the language that they wanted to hear and that I wanted to hear too. The real language of how one gets a business up and running and the troubles that one can have. So some of them perhaps have already called him and asked to be mentored by him, which is one of the services that we are planning to offer. We will, in the student entrepreneurial enterprise, we will help students to plan and execute their business, because this is not a one-off thing. This is a continuous process. The students will be able to share their knowledge of markets and business fairs. Some of them happen right here in the region and we don't really go to them. Emerging technology and more. Students will be able to be encouraged to set up a market forecast hub for major commodities on campus. And I'm not talking about corn and soybean, even though those are important. I'm talking about our own commodities that we are producing here in Guyana and those that we will produce in the future. In order to do all of that, we have to do some other things. The final year project is something that we already have. And we have to tweak that so that those final year projects can be more entrepreneurial and be more innovative. Many of them are quite innovative. I've seen some of them win prizes in the CARICOM Shark Tanks. But what happens after that? There's no real follow-up, no follow-through. This UGIRIE will be doing something about that. We would like to facilitate inter-faculty and campus facilities, people working together, students working in teams, perhaps cross-faculty, and using facilities that are not in perhaps one faculty. Wherever these things are, the faculty and the whole university has got to refocus now and reorient ourselves to the entrepreneurial and manufacturing imperative. This is what we must do if we are going to meet the needs of the next century, the next 10 years. Professor Mohammed is fervently looking forward for one graduate to come out of every household, that we put one graduate in every household, but these graduates must not leave UG to look for jobs, at least not all of them. And certainly, I have long lost my nerve to produce graduates who are going to migrate. I can't do that anymore. So we've got to do something else in order to keep them here, keep our talent here, and to have them put their energies, their physical and their mental energies to work for Guyana. This end, we will mount several shorter courses in addition to our Flagstaff course, which we hope to make into an elective, which will find its way through the university system pretty shortly. And then different people are at different stages of their business. So they might not want to go from the concept right through to the end. They might just want to organize the market and a promotional campaign. So we are tailoring the shorter courses, which will be of a 3-week duration, to meet these needs. Marketing. Professor Mohammed has already said to me that we have facilities on campus which can help to promote businesses of alums and students through the various media which we have. The online UG, online radio, newspaper, bookstore, and more. And we do have a whole department now, which I am sure quite capable of helping me to do this job. Okay, so here we are. Many things I want to do, many ideas I have, many ideas come to me from other people, and we have to get moving little by little. When we started this program, we didn't even know for sure if we were going to get any money, trust me. But I was willing to even put my own money because I believe that this is what we have to do. And Professor Mohammed also believes that this is what we have to do. So nothing is going to deflect us and make us move away from what we know. We have to lead. The university must lead. And this is what we are attempting to do. So to this end, even before COVID, we had decided that we would launch a virtual business incubator because a lot of the facilities that we need, that I know exist in the world, because through this university, I have been able to go all over the place. And through my my alma mater, the University of Tennessee, I was able to go all over the place too. And they facilitated those trips. And it is their incubator that I first visited when I started to think carefully about an incubator. So this virtual incubator, this virtual business incubator will see students being able to have internships, both local, because look, this afternoon, many of the people who are speaking here, they're not in Guyana. Professor Campbell is somewhere in the United States. Some people are in Jamaica. Yvonne is in Jamaica. Some other people are in Canada. Somebody's calling from California. You know, we're all over the place. So the virtual nature, the beauty of the internet now helps us to be able to do a lot more than we could have done in the past, than we had thought we could do in the past. And so these internships, local and regional, all of these can be facilitated now. Attachments to these regional and international universities with similar programs, even right here in Barbados, in Jamaica, in other places, in Costa Rica, you know, there are lots of good places where students can go to be stimulated. Attachment to product development facilities and example technology hubs. We had people from Google interact with us during this program, thanks to Yvonne. And we will continue to work with all of these people to get our students up and running, making them manufacturing ready. So I offer you this afternoon, one, a commitment to continue working on the UGI-RIE and to along with our staff and our faculty and our administration and the wider society, particularly those businesses that are very successful, they need to open their doors so that young people can come in and learn the nuts and bolts of business, because you don't know to give an injection until you've given one. So don't be afraid of these young people. They don't necessarily want to do the type of business you're doing. They're mostly innovators. Some of them want to build tractors. Some of them want to do all sorts of things. You'd be amazed to know they have me on the a gag act, a gag order, so I can't tell you the things that they have told me. Non-disclosure agreement, I can't tell you. So suffice it to say that these young people are bright and they have what it takes. And I'm asking everyone to give them a chance so that Guyana can move from being mostly in people in business just buying and selling to people who are innovating and people who are doing the types of things that would bring us back, bring foreign exchange into the country, and most of all, give us that back, that pride, which we desperately need. And our young people know that they have what it takes, and I commend them to you. I commend the Virtual Business Incubator, the Student Entrepreneurial Enterprise, and the UGI-RIE as a whole. Thank you very much, and I look forward to your continued support.
Thank you, Professor Patsy Francis, whose vision really stimulated this entire workshop, project, institute, and now award ceremony. Colleagues, we have come to the end of quite a delightful graduation and award program this evening. I would like to once again offer hearty congratulations to all our students for successfully completing this business development encounter workshop program. Congratulations as well to the 8 prize winners. I anticipate sustainable and great products and services from all of you. At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Tiffany Arthur to give the vote of thanks. Dr. Arthur is a development specialist, academic, and published author. She obtained a Doctor of Philosophy degree in Development Studies, specializing in sustainable livelihoods and community development. Dr. Arthur currently serves as Technical Officer 2 at the University of Guyana Institute for Research, Innovation, and Entrepreneurship, UGIRE, and I'm sure everyone who has been involved in this program, in this workshop at any level would have interacted with this young star within our midst, Dr. Arthur.
The University of Guyana Institute for Research, Innovation, and Entrepreneurship wishes to extend sincere thanks to its team, members, and facilitators. These are Ms. Yvonne Mattis, International Business Consultant and Entrepreneurship Development Specialist. Mr. Soren Griffith, Trainer at the Sustained Youth Development Research, Inc., Guyana. Ms. Tishane Morrison, the Program Manager at the Branson Center, Jamaica, and Mr. Shimir Sadler, the co-founder of Smart Herb, Jamaica. We are also extending thanks to all of our workshop presenters, Dr. Cecil White, Lecturer and Business Consultant at Mona School of Business and Management, Jamaica. Ms. Odella Joseph, who's an alumni of the University of Guyana, School of Entrepreneurship, Business, and Innovation. She's also the proprietress of OJ Skincare & Co. Mr. Peter Wilson, who's a chartered accountant from Jamaica. Ms. Benita Lakram, who is an entrepreneur. Thank you as well to Mr. Tini Hoosty, attorney at law, mediator and legal consultant at Fraser & Hoosty's Attorney at Law. Mr. Rayburn Jones, alumna of the Faculty of Forestry and Agriculture at the University of Guyana. Ms. Nikita Ford, who's the interim manager of the Multimedia Production Unit, DEC, at the University of Guyana. Mr. Conrad Matheson, who's the CEO of Pixel Perfect, Jamaica. Dr. Terence Campbell, an entrepreneur. Dr. Marlon Cole, Director of the Government Analysis, Food and Drug Department at the Institute for Applied Science and Technology at the University of Guyana. Our IT team who are working behind the scenes, we thank you for your reliable and diligent support. Mr. Jaina Ryan Dianot and team, Departments of Events, Conferences, and Communications, DEC, University of Guyana. Mr. Malcolm Williams and team, from the Technical Online Service Department of the University of Guyana. Ms. Arlene McLean and team, Chief of Staff, University of Guyana. A big thank you to our sponsors, the University of Guyana, ExxonMobil, Professor Armand Reed, and Dr. Terence Campbell. And to Professor Palomo Mohammed, the 11th Vice Chancellor of the University of Guyana. You have our everlasting gratitude. Thank you everyone for joining us for this momentous occasion. Have a good evening.